All right. This was a build around submission for me to take a crack at some Bant friends here in Historic. We've got Kasmina, the Enigma Sage here, which shares her loyalty abilities with other planeswalkers. She notably curves very elegantly into Grandmaster of Flowers. If you play Kaz on 2 or 3 with our elves, and then you play Grandmaster of Flowers on the turn after, you can plus this to 5 the turn you play it, and then you can plus it to 7 the turn after with the +2 twice, and immediately have this 7/7 flying indestructible thing to start attacking with. I've got some Nissa because she shakes my world. We've got some Teferi because he's just a good planeswalker. We've got some accelerants. I've got a couple of cheeky Oath of Teferis in here. And then we've got some Yasharn, Implacable Earths, as a way to fish up additional lands, as well as be a 4/4 to draw cards with Kiora, and also turns off the food deck. Lovestruck Beast is just a good early play that's also a fat body that draws cards with this. And Lair of the Hydra is a sweet addition because Lair of the Hydra is a creature land that can turn on Lovestruck Beast in a pinch to attack, which is nice. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see how Bant friends can do in Historic this morning. Yeah, so I've got one Monk of the Open Hand, so you can draw it with the 4-drop on occasion, but that card's not worth playing a bunch of. Yeah, this hand's great, huh? BT Dubs, we've got that Marvel ticker in the corner. The stream all week is sponsored by Marvel Strike Force, which is a mobile game on Android and iOS. If you'd like a really easy way to support my content, check them out using my link. It takes about 5 minutes of your time to play through to level 2. That's their tutorial. You'll make my ticker go up. If we hit that 175 goal by Friday evening, we will do a bonus stream on Saturday this weekend. That will be 5 or 6 hours of Magic and a couple hours of Pokemon Unite during my normal-ish stream segment time. All right, so I think we Goose. Am I Lovestruck Beasting here too? Probably. I'm basically starting at 14, shocking 3 times here. Been a while since I've played against Phoenix. I'm in danger.
I can be your mentor if your mind is willing. The future is not yet decided.
I wasn't really thinking about this archetype when I built our deck. I've got Portable Holes and Baffling Ends as our removal spells mostly, which is rough. Yeah, they don't really care about our creatures blocking and stuff. I think if Loop the Phoenix is into play here, I'm gonna concede. Honestly, even if they flip him into play next turn too, we're probably still pretty far behind. Do you have 2 1-mana spells, opponent? Are there fire chickens coming to eat my face? No, fire chickens. That's exciting. We're gonna chump block with the goose. Keep my Kasmina alive here.
Not even a meal before battle? Very well. Stay your hand. Let's talk.
I'm not even really sure what exactly we're looking for at this point. I guess maybe Nissa who shakes the world? Frantic Search is an interesting one. Explains why they were bricked off last turn. They're playing expensive, clunky cards like that.
Let me offer some guidance. Evil flourishes now.
Okay. I mean, that's what we said we were looking for, I guess. What if I just make a 5/5?
Everything is under control.
Oh, this is blocking this turn. Durf. Greybeer! Look at that, chat. The trickle-down economy works. Our 39th Shillionaire redemption here. Welcome to the club. Be sure to drop me a DM in the subs Discord to get your title there, and you can submit your Shillionaire deck that you'd like to see using the form on my site. You are welcome to submit a deck for after Historic Horizons releases, obviously, or you could do something now, whichever you'd prefer. Then we are unfortunately a little bit of damage short here, right? We're just going to die in the air. And now our next Shillionaire will only have to spend 999,961 shillings. All right, so Yasharn's obviously not very good. Oath is mopey. A couple of portable holes are probably fine for their Sprite Dragons. I'm never searching for a monk in this matchup. I think I'm bringing in Shifty Boy and probably these Aether Gusts. This can at least block, and it's a hasty threat. Let's give this a try. Just need another 980,000 trillionaires and I could become one too. So close. Jack, thank you for the tier 2 and for the over 3 years. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. Back in my day, you needed the full million for Shillionaire. Kids these days don't know the struggle. Darn entitled millennials. Get Shillionaire handed to them on a silver platter. Dr. Sinsin, thanks for the 5 months. Morning. I think we just jam Kiora here, right? Because we can shake their world next turn if so. Alright, how many birds are in my future? Alright, there's one fire pigeon. There's a Stormwing. Beansy was the person that got trickled down moving forward. Breeding Pool is actually a great pickup for a 5th land tier, because it means when I Nissa next turn, I can untap the Breeding Pool and still have Aether Gust up. Olarin, thank you for the 2/3 fee, or welcome back. So, you can only borrow to become a Shillionaire if one of your parents was a Shillionaire. Just to make sure the system stays true to our rigorous reality that we modeled it after. What if I call one of the Shillionaires daddy? And I think we're unfortunately here just gonna have another game very similar to the last one. Our deck's just unable. The way this deck that we're playing is constructed, it's hoping to be competitive against aggressive decks by blocking inside of combat. And we just don't get an option to block in this matchup, so we're just not competitive here. Saucy Noodles, thanks for the Prime support. And there's a ton of great people you can drop that off with every single month here on Twitch. Thanks for sending it this way this month. Hey, thanks to whoever checked out the Marvel sponsor. Appreciate that. Let's see, it's sweet. 1, 2. Oh, also, for the people that are Unite fans later, we're going to be playing with, I've got a 5-stack with my wife and 3 Twitch subs. And while I'm still not going to put voices of people I don't know on stream that I haven't played with before, I think I've finagled it so I can record their voices in the content in real time. So that way, assuming everything goes well, I can have the full communication for the YouTube videos after the fact. Technology is swell. Hey, thanks, Pawaga. The old memory lapse into saw it coming. Yep. And they have a Field of Rune to deal with our first layer of the Hydra. Need to draw some spells. They have 2 Field of Runes to deal with our layers of the Hydra. What are spells? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Sag. It's been a rough day for spells resolving. We played against 3 counterspell decks in a row in Modern this morning. It's a little rough. This is where the magic happens.
My prowess is unmatched. Hone your prowess.
Fun and interactive magic. I mean, the reason why this hasn't been particularly fun is because it's been interactive. A lot of people tend to use the terms fun and interactive interchangeably in card games, and really they're not. Critical masses of interaction tend to be the opposite of fun. It's one of, and this is something I've talked about quite frequently before, is the most interactive part of Magic is its combat system, which is why I think Magic's formats in general tend to be at their best when their combat system is being leveraged. Which is why when decks like this deck that my opponent's playing and things like Jeskai Control are the best decks in a given format, it tends to be kind of dry gameplay
Violence is upsetting.
because the combat system just gets ignored. Yeah, that's exactly correct. There's typically speaking very little counterplay against counter spells. You're being interacted with, but you don't have the opportunity to interact back in most situations. Hey, what's going on, Bardic? Thank you for the 41 months. Morning, good morning. So, for the record, I actually think decks like these control decks existing is a generally speaking good thing for the game. They should just be more of the exception in my opinion rather than the rule in terms of what's powerful and good. I want them to be an option that's there, but I don't want it to be like, Jeff, what's the best deck in the format? Right now the answer is definitely Jeskai Control, right? So I think Magic tends to be worse off when the answer to what is the best thing is Jeskai Control.
You know what?
If this doesn't sum up the Magic the Gathering experience, I don't know what does. No cards in hand. They draw Teferi. No cards in hand. We draw blank into blank. the edges here. What's going on, Chris? Thanks for the 31 months. Did he get mana screwed? I don't know. Flood's about as iconic as screw, right? It's all resource variants all the way down. All right. Welcome to the jam. It's time to slam. We're not playing 40 lands out of habit from all the Brawl decks, right? Asking the real questions.
Study hard, and one day you may rival your teachers. There's still time for my plans.
Memory lamps. Whoa! My spell resolved? Wait, that's illegal. Hey, thanks for the sub gift, Bardic. Alright, in it to win it, chip.
The future is not yet decided.
I think Historic Shamans is doable. Well, probably not. That sounds a little slow and bad. Memory lapse this one. Alright, and then we'll tick Kasmina up here. I don't want to down tick her until after they play their sweeper.
We must prepare for tomorrow.
Hopefully it's just gonna be one of those games where they do nothing and concede. Got me. That one can stay right there. Recommended items. Buddy Barrier and Focus Band go on most things, and then which other items you want to level up depend on which Pokemon you're playing past those. I put Buddy Barrier on literally everyone, and you could do the same with Focus Band. Shifty boy chat. If you're playing anything kind of green and mid-rangey, put four shifties in your sideboard. Doesn't die to Helix, doesn't get memory lapsed, it slices, it dices, it attacks the Teferi down from 5 loyalty. What's the third you recommend for Charizard? Probably Muscle Band. This hand has all my colors in it. It has 2 cheap dorks. I don't think I could justify mulliganing this hand for Shifting Ceratops, but it definitely feels like it's in the range of hand sucks keep. I don't think Shifting Ceratops is an unreasonable main deck card. In fact, you could, if you wanted to hedge control rather than food, you could very easily swap the 3 main deck 4/4s I have for 3 Shifting Ceratopses.
open mind.
I'm gonna do this rather than play Yasharn out into the Wrath of God. If I only hit her for one, she gets to draw another card, and I'd prefer she didn't. I do have Hydroid Krasis in my deck, so I'm gonna go ahead and kill the Narset here. It's worth giving up a damage for. And then if we play this Yasharn and they Wrath next turn, we get a window to stick Nissa, so that sounds fine. And like Yasharn technically draws us two here. Even if they're not spells, there's still some action. So next turn, after they Wrath, we can go land Nissa, attack for 3, Lovestruck Beast, make a token, be in an okay spot. Hey, thanks to whoever checked out the Marvel promo, appreciate you. Inching up towards our goal in the bonus stream for Saturday. I have not put Brawl decks on the site yet. I am intending to do that sometime after Historic Horizons releases. Feels like it would be a waste to do it now and then need to update a bunch of them with cards from that. As always, everything is well organized on my YouTube channel. You can find a playlist on the front page there that lists all of the decks that I've been playing. And there are deck links in the video description. Historic Horizons releases Thursday. Next Thursday. Week from today? No, today's Wednesday. A week from tomorrow. Attack first here. See if they want a Field of Ruin my temple before I scry. I'm also going to cast this first because if they memory lapse it, I'll probably scry it to the bottom. Do we value Nissa Ultimate at all? Yeah, definitely. Makes my Lair of the Hydra indestructible as well. If I have even one Nissa land as a creature, her ultimate's pretty reasonable. It's not valuable enough though to skip making 3/3s and use her to scry. If that's what you're asking though. So we'll use it if we get to it while making 3/3s, but I'm not gonna give up making 3/3s to try and get to it. If that makes sense.
If you show remorse, I'll show restraint. No time for a break.
Probably need this shark to play defense, huh? We're not playing around to settle the wreckage yet. Yeah, if you Nissa the Lair and then activate it, it'll have 3 counters on it. But they also have Field of Runes, so it's not a good play currently. So, assuming they field here, If they block this, they die, so they have to block here, and then we push 7. We have plenty of basics in our deck, which is nice. Shifting Ceratops. Nope. Head to the bottom. Anything that's not a shifty boy is going down there. Alright, so they have Wrath of God. They have Reason Blower. Gross.
Keep up the pace.
Alright. Dodge a second Wrath of God, we can dodge a ball. They have the sweeper, we're probably dead though. Because I have to imagine they have a counterspell here. Survey says... Okie doke. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, just based on how it feels to play against, I'm gonna swap my main deck hedge. So I had 3 Yasharns in my main deck. I'm gonna put the Yasharns in the board and put the Shifting Ceratops in the main, because screw blue-white control. It's just so tedious, they deserve to get stuffed. They deserve the hedge. You had to Jund immediately? Listen, if putting the Ceratops in my main deck meant I queued into Jund, I'd still do it. Matchup is so much more pleasant. And luck, it's probably Jund. Yasharn's a non-bow with Goose. By the time you have Yasharn out, you probably don't need Goose anymore. So that's fine. I think I'd rather Kiora before Kasmina, because Kiora lets me Shifting Ceratops next turn. Oh, they're actually control. Yep. I'm telling you, chat, this format is just control decks all the way down. They're playing Niv control. Peace was never an option for this Goose. No, there's no think about it. They're definitely 5-color Niv. It's unfortunate that the way fractals are templated, they don't trigger Kiora, but this is definitely the line. It's a nice draw too.
We must prepare for tomorrow.
Thanks, scans rate. Well, this sucks.
Aid the underprivileged. They may be a god in disguise.
Sag.
happy to step back and listen.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Man, they're gonna make a 6. They're gonna put a 6/6 into play next turn. Big sad.
There's still time for my plans.
Oh, they drew Maelstrom Pulse. The other two Nivs going to the bottom doesn't matter. We're not going to beat the first one. So I was going to make a 6/6 and another 6/6, but Maelstrom Pulse means that I can't make that play anymore. So I guess we'll just Lovestruck Beast and make a 5/5. I think we're likely into garbage time at this point.
A worse future will come to pass.
Bet you've never been hugged by a kraken before.
Board in the anti-control cards plus Aether Gust. Cut some of our mana creatures so we have a higher action density in our deck. Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly right, Dr. Mr. Bunny. They are removal spells and then a 6/6 to draw them more removal spells. And they get an 8 mana 5/5 for free. It's the least interesting and exciting and also the most competitive, Dr. Mister. Their deck is one of the established good decks in the format for reference. It was one of our better draws, and we still traded 5 mana for 2. What happens to take control down a peg? Like, short of banning things, they need to, like, print some really big guns into this format. We need Aether Vial, Cavern of Souls, things like that. Now, that being said, I really don't like Cavern specifically as a design, so I'd rather they get rid of Memory Lapse than print Cavern. Yeah, I think Aether Vial's an appropriate card. I think Aether Vial's a fine card, but Cavern's kind of bad. They could also give us Veil of Summer back. Is control as big of a problem in Modern? No, Modern creature decks have better tools. It's still pretty good, pretty okay in Modern, but it's worse than it is in Historic because the things like Ragavan exist and Cavern of Souls exist there. Things like Ragavan make control worse because they demand you have a 1-mana answer on 1. And like, this doesn't even resolve because they have Dovin's Veto as their counterspell. Yeah, just like, sure. What a bag of dicks. Yeah, I was actually really worried Counterspell was going to be too good for Modern. And ended up just being like, just fine. You brought me snacks.
If you want, you
I love snacks. No, I was actually thinking about messaging him.
do you want all those things?
No, yeah, all the things sound great.
Anything else you want?
Nope. I guess I could attack for 6 here. Could our negates be Dovin's Vetoes? I mean, I have 3 basic forests and 3 Lair of the Hydras in my deck. Yeah, Dovin's Veto is a big part of war design that made control feel less interesting. Also, yeah, Dovin's Veto doesn't counter Dovin's Veto, so it wouldn't have helped us in that instance. Actually, people talking about what do you do to make control worse? You want to make Jeskai control a lot worse in this format? Field of the Dead. There isn't a competitive ramp deck in this format. And generally speaking, those tend to be the type of archetypes that prey on control.
I defy gods. Defying you will be easy.
Will Unholy Heat make Teferi worse? I think it remains to be seen if Unholy Heat will be playable. Land. Untapped land. Another 5-drop. Yay, magic.
The ocean surges, life thrives.
No, part of the reason why I think Winota should be unbanned is I don't think Winota is very good against the control decks that exist right now. No, I think Winota's the exact kind of archetype that gets stuffed in a box by control.
Let's skip to the good part.
I'm not convinced she would be. She would see some amount of play, but I'm not convinced she would be good.
One drop.
Alright, hopefully we draw an untapped green source here.
Rise to evil's challenges.
We need to move quickly.
Mind and body should move in with thoughtfulness before action.
I love to make a splash.
Alright, I messed that up.
I reached my limit.
Fun engaging gameplay.
Come be a hero.
Keep up the pace.
Realize your actions are misguided.
Nature flows with vigor.
How long do you want to wait for?
No peace, my enemy.
Oh, just gonna slip away.
Put Shark into the vibe zone. Something like that.
Perhaps learn some humility.
Digging for a Wrath of God.
Justice will always triumph. Consider the evil within yourself.
Oh my god, I attacked with the goose by mistake. Well, that should have trampled. That misclick gives them a scry. If I hadn't attacked with the goose, they would have been forced to make a token. Sometimes lucky. Trim the geese and a Lovestruck Beast. Bring in Negate. Oh, I want to cut the Teferis too. We put a couple of Yasharns in. Just like a thick beater. Seems fine. That game was just so exhausting. Just it's an uphill slog every time. Oh, someone had asked earlier, I don't think I commented about historic Brawl. We have not done Brawl yet today. I'm gonna play one or two more with this deck after this one, and then we'll shift over to some Brawl for a little bit before we play some Pokemon. Yeah, seems good. Bottom Lovestruck Beast. Good to go 1, 2, 3.
Right into battle.
I'm gonna trade a loyalty for 1 point of damage here. I think that's a good exchange for us. To come down and pressure Kiora now. Do you have a Helix? Alright, question 2. Do you have Memory Lapse? Do you have Negate Postboard too?
I'm known for my excellent timing. Let's skip to the good part.
Well, and so one of the nice things too, Nor, is that even if this format stays pretty control focused, it's like not that big of a deal because rotation is happening in less than a month and we're going to get to keep Historic Brawl around, so it's the most voted for thing on sub-surveys, so I don't envision myself doing 0 of it, but I imagine we'll probably do less Historic and more of those other 2 formats if Historic stays very control focused after Horizons. Yeah, the Innistrad set would have to go full Eldraine for Standard to be bad. I think I'm just making a 6/6.
for tomorrow.
So, like, go ahead if you want to attack that and finish it. Yeah, literally... I was going to say the only bad thing. There's two complaints I have about Standard 22. One, it's best of one. Two, Aldrin's Epiphany exists. The rest of it is great.
I didn't feel like fighting anyway.
VR Bob. Hey, congrats on your promotion. That's all right. I know people bounce in and out. Thanks for all you've done here over the years. Enjoy your own castle in Hooglandia to hang your crown in. So, I think we just Shifty Boy into 5 open mana, right? I'm gonna decline attacking with the elf because I don't want to run it into a 3/3 shark. Down she goes. Up she goes. Nobody knows.
Not yet decided. For my move.
Their removal has lined up very well this game. That is accurate.
Focus on the future.
Let your soul be a wellspring that nourishes the... Take a moment to consider your actions. I guess you weren't kidding about that bonus, Bob. That is, that's a lot of sub gifts. Happy Wednesday to you. Welcome to our newest members of Hooglandia. If any of our new members of Hooglandia are uncertain what to do with your newfound chat powers, I'm sure a mod would be happy to help you with complimentary timeout. I meet your hate.
All of our new members, make sure to pop onto the Discord server too. Thanks, Bob. All right, so this can't block non-flyers anyways. I guess we're doing this to this.
We need not fight here.
And I think we're just firing up player. So 7 mana, so that'll be X of 6. Also, for our new subs, remember any type of sub is welcome to participate in the Hooglandia Open that's going to be coming up in a little over a week. You can check that out on MTG Melee as well. It's going to be historic after the Jumpstart Historic Horizons releases. So hopefully have a lot of people trying lots of new things. Well, I mean, at least the land we drew in the middle was another layer of the Hydra. If second Shark Typhoon, we're probably in trouble. That is worse for us than Shark Typhoon is, yep.
No time for a break.
Yikes.
I've learned what I needed.
Well, solidly into garbage time here.
I think I'm happy with how I boarded. We're just running it back. I mean, the opponent had 8 power worth of stuff there. We're not racing them. They could block our Hydra lands in combat and kill them. Amazonian was also able to fit the new open date into her schedule as well, so she's still going to be my co-commentator for the event on the 29th. Which is great. She's good at what she does. A lot of commentary experience. Putting this one on the bottom. Hey, thanks for the sub gift, Smarty. Morning to you. So, my opponent doesn't quite have Teferi mana yet. So, I think I'm supposed to Yasharn this turn. Like, they both... This sucks into Memory Lapse more, but this sucks into Justice Strike. And I think I want to save this for when I can haste it. What's going on, Mueller? I actually played a good bit of solo queue, and I don't think it's as bad as it could otherwise be. It's definitely high variance, but... Alright, so... Am I playing around Mystic Dispute? I think the answer is no. And that worked. Okay, so we have a Teferi, and they can't just shove a Teferi of their own next turn, which is huge. Hey, thanks for the sub gift, Tom. They committed to taking this Teferi off the table?
Keep up the pace.
That was my experience too, Edmund. Even when you're winning, how they play can be annoying. Has Oath of Teferi been good? No, not even a little. In fact, we should probably cut it for a good spell after this game.
Let's slow this down. You need to take a time out. That didn't go according to plan.
Okay, so I can go Kiora into Lovestruck Beast, draw a card here. Bant Tameo is one of my most wanted planeswalkers for this format. It's so sweet.
If you wish to surrender, meditate and prepare
So we do this while they're tapped out. And then we tell Narset to go tuck herself.
Sorry I'm late. I'm not ready for you quite yet.
My train, I have just the trick for this.
Great, can we kill this Narset and draw with Teferi? Or is there a Justice Strike in my future? Double Helix, perhaps? Great, that happened.
I was not prepared for this.
Negate?
You know what? I'm not done.
You know, I'm gonna go ahead and just play this as a 5/5 this turn to draw another card.
The ocean surges, life thrives.
Really? Okay. Oh, they get to attack Teferi for lethal now, right? Yeah. So I'm at 7 mana currently, so if I use Yasharn, fish up a couple of lands, we can also Grandmaster Flowers this turn.
There are so many mysteries to uncover. Hone your prowess.
Memory lapse. Fun.
Do enough, Fort Eve. I shall not let you harm others.
Keep an open mind.
I know, Myra. Keep up the pace.
Alright, we're gonna play one more match of Historic while we do Brawl deck voting, but it's not gonna be against blue-white control. I just can't do it again. We've had 4 matches in a row against control, and I just wanna, like, I don't know, go close my hand in the door frame and be more pleasant. Alright, what do I wanna do for... What do I wanna do for Brawl today? I think I wanna be aggressive in Brawl today. Hey, thanks to whoever checked out the Marvel promo. Appreciate you. Inching us closer to our 175 goal. Let's do red, white, feather. Red, green, Nayef. Green, Rishkar, black, Gonti. Do Mardu Extus. Let's mix it up. All right, you have 10 minutes to vote. Why not directly give us 100 card commander instead of historic Brawl? Because 100 card commander is a mediocre one-on-one format. It's designed to be a multiplayer format. Historic Brawl is Commander with a 1v1 focus. It has lower life totals, which makes aggressive decks more playable. Like, literally the only difference, there's 3 differences between Historic, Brawl, and regular Commander that you're asking for, and that's starting life total 25 versus 40. You can play Planeswalkers as your Commander in Brawl, and there's no Commander damage. Bob votes for not Feather. I can make sure that happens, Bob. And it looks like Mardu Extus and Red Green Naive are the 2 ones that are getting points here. So if you want your vote to count, I'd recommend voting for one of those 2. This isn't amazing, but I think it's in the range of keepable here. And we'll get to go tapped Glacial Fortress on 1 into Monk, Hydra, Lovestruck Beast, Trigger Monk on 2. So actually pretty decent curve here. I can't get memory lapsed again. I can't. I'm fucking done with it. I'm gonna try and find another match here, but that's just like the 5th match in a row that we've gotten memory lapsed or controlled out of, and it's not been fun. In fact, I think we're probably gonna bounce off of after this set. I'm gonna not do Historic until next week when the new cards drop. We're gonna take a week break from it. It's been rough. Brawl's been good. Standard 22's been reasonable. Today's just been a miserable set. Just every round. It didn't help that we also played against 3 control decks in 5 matches in Modern this morning. Into 5 control decks in a row here. Maybe they're playing green-white Yorion. Maybe they're playing green-white Yorion. Maybe they're playing green-white Yorion. More card whores than a card dealership. Alright, I'm trying one more. If we queue into control deck again, I'm going to take a 3-minute break while the voting finishes and take a deep breath. He said to himself with his hand on the concede button. We did it! We did it, fam! We found the Llanowar Elves! There's a basic first! Oh, God! Pelt Collector, in it to win it. Sign me up. I don't even care if you cleave me, opponent. Cleave will be a sweet release of death after all of the memory lapses that have been cast today. I ain't even mad a little.
I will not tolerate each. Try to find the good in your heart.
All I ask for is a good, clean death. Are we the baddies? No, I just cast Grandmaster of Flowers in Historic. I am deterministically the good guy here. And it's not particularly close.
Consider the evil within yourself.
Strange and magnificent world. Harness the elements.
I'm okay trading this for any of these, right? This can't attack or block. Yes, yeah, if they don't pressure my Grandmaster here, Kasmina comes down and makes a 7/7. I couldn't take that chance, Givy. I'm sorry. I apologize. You don't understand what I've been through today. I couldn't risk it. I've seen some things. Terrible, terrible things.
Walk the path of goodness.
Look at how sweet Magic is, chat, when I'm allowed to block. Magic's a great game with an awesome combat system.
After all,
It's such a better game when I get to attack and block. That's all I want to do. I'm a simple man, chat. I just want to feel like attacking and blocking matters. It's all I want out of life. Brave words for a man currently in Cleveland. Alright, so Shifty Boy out. Definitely get to bring in my portable holes and Baffling Ends and Aether Gust. This is probably a Vorinclex and Teferi out matchup. What do you think of this? I think I like this. Yes, the dragon can still use its Planeswalker abilities. JKMN, thank you for the 10 months. I appreciate the prime. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. All right, and it looks like Extus, there's been deck voting going on still, by the way. Looks like Extus actually has a little over half the vote, which is impressive for a four vote option. Sweet, that's what I was kind of excited to see. I'm excited to see most of them, if I'm being honest. Got a lot of sweet ones. Yeah, so it looks great. I think we portable hole an elf on one, but I'll elf if they Pelt Collector. I'll elf if they nothing for sure. Alright, one blue source, please, deck. Nice. I do think I gotta stick the Brawler in a box here. Unfortunately, I think playing this out would be wrong. We do have less votes than viewers. It's a sad day for democracy. My body is ready to get Questing Beast next turn.
I would defend that we take a moment to consider your actions.
I do not think Portable Hole is particularly good in Standard 22 right now, if you look at the threats people are playing in Standard 22. However, in Historic, the selection of threats people are playing is different than Standard 22. And I think, for example, in this matchup was what I had in mind when I put Portable Hole in my sideboard, because there are a variety of cheap things that I wouldn't mind Portable Holing, if that makes sense. So as always, like, the power level of cards is contextual to where they've been being played.
Let you harm others.
I'm not going to attack here because they could company into a 4/4. Yes, especially removal spells. A good example of that is Fatal Push is stellar in Modern. It's mediocre in Historic. Another good thing to think about too is the Cat Oven food deck is popular in Historic. This card's very good against Cat Oven. Gets rid of ovens and Trail of Crumbs. Yeah, if they don't hit Grandmaster, we get to run back the Kasmina play on it next turn. I'm going to block the Llanowar Elves because I'm expecting a cleave to happen here. And if they cleave the Llanowar Elf still dies. They could cleave Burning Tree Emissary and kill my Grandmaster.
I thought you'd behave better.
But now he's at 2, which is nice. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's make a 6/6.
You look like lunch.
Let's scry. Let's make a 3/3. Let's make it so you can't attack or block. Let's attack you for 3. I think I'm just playing a goose here. You do not draw off of Kiora when she makes fractals. Fractals enter play as 0/0s and then get counters added to them, unfortunately. So a little bit of anti-synergy there. So you can't attack or block.
Learn some humility.
Am I making a 6/6 or another 3/3? Probably another 3/3 so I can threaten to ult this next turn, right? I think my plan here is make a 4/4. Play another Kasmina.
Are you willing to do whatever it takes? I am.
Baffling End sounds lovely.
We must prepare for tomorrow.
Harness the elements.
I want to leave the 6/6 on defense because of this cleave. I'm glad we got this game at the end here as a palate cleanser. This match. Game's not over yet, obviously. They can still have some stuff to pop off here, but sweet last game where, like, our deck actually got to execute its game plan because attacking and blocking mattered. I believe that's the case. I believe this gains the text can't attack or block. Maybe? It actually says can't attack or block without first strike. Maybe this could attack if they would have put the cleave on it. Now I'm unsure. Yeah, I think you're right. It's a condition of the text, not the targeting. Yeah, I think if they would have put the sword on Klothys, we'd have been got there. Okay, so we get to go Baffling End, can't block, smash you. Equipments make the attack viable, yeah. Yeah. Alright, yeah, so that last set was great. That being said, if I were to play this again in the current historic format, I think I'd probably cut these geese altogether. I'd go up a Teferi, and I'd put the Shifting Ceratops in the main, and probably just slide the Hydroid Krasis into the main. I think I'd basically just want to be pre-boarded for control. And then I'd probably put, like, another Negate in the sideboard at least, and then maybe a couple other cards for aggro, or maybe even just more for control. The control matchup is winnable with the right build, and I think you just want to, there's just so much of it in this format that you'd want to lean into beating it. So yeah, just to round out the sideboard, I would play another Negate, and then you could even play like a couple disputes. How would be sideboarding against control? We probably want to cut the four Lovestruck Beast. So that means I want 4 cards to bring in. I should just bring in Negates and Yasharns. I'd probably put a couple of anti-aggro cards in, because this main deck here is like pretty slanted for control at this point. I'd probably just like round out like a Gust, another Baffling End. Someone said, why not Dovin's Veto instead of Negate? There are 6 lands that only make green mana in my deck. And if you look at my mana base, I only have 12 white sources overall. So yeah, I think, yeah, probably that. 4th Portable Hole is probably fine. Something along the lines of that. I'd skew the main deck a little heavier towards anti-control, and then I'd round out the sideboard with some extra anti-aggro cards. That way when you do queue into something that's not control, you know, it'll happen on a rare occasion. You have good tools for that. Alright, sweet. Let's play some Brawl, huh? And thank you for the submission. It's not your fault that the